Welcome to the Photography Show TV studio, where I am joined by Julia Fullerton-Batten. Julia, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, You're welcome.
Little dance.
Thanks for having me.
So you will be taking to the super stage
Yay.
later on today.
Yeah, in about an hour.
Fine art and controversy. Tell me more.
Well, my last two projects, one was on children with animals.
Feral children.
Yes.
Yes.
And the other one was on women and sex workers. So I think the two of them are probably the most extreme you could probably shoot. So therefore it's a little bit controversial. I personally don't think it's controversial, but I think other people think it might be.
I took a visit on Julia's website earlier today, and there was a double take wow moment when I saw one of the images from the act. I think it's the aerial artist that appeared to me on there, and I was struck by all of the images when I had a look at the thumbnails on there. But it wasn't just about the images in that project. You also interviewed all of your subjects as well. Tell me more about that.
Well, first of all, the sex industry has been photographed to death.
Yes.
So I was trying to approach it from a different angle. First of all, from a women's point of view, and also in a way that these women chose to have this profession. They, even though they're well educated, and many of them have done degrees, they chose to go into this profession and sell their bodies to make money from it. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating, because I come from a little bit more of a traditional background where, okay, my parents are divorced, but I got married before I had children, and then we had children, and that's like the normal route to go. And I was just very, very intrigued. And therefore I met many of these women before I actually started the project in general. And I built my ideas upon their professions. So each of them are doing different things. One's a pole dancer, the other one's a dominatrix, then we have an escort, another one is transsexual, so she's changed her body.
Indeed.
The one woman hangs herself from her hair.
And that was the image that's on the front page of your website.
Yeah.
That was this wow.
And she does really do that.
Yes.
And she hangs for quite a long time, and she performs a striptease performance while she's doing that. And then I thought, rather than, it was important to me that it didn't look like they were just models acting to be part of this setup, that they were real women. So therefore I interviewed them, because I thought their stories were so fascinating.
Because the look and feel of some of your previous projects, it's an important point, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but the setup that you have, the lighting, the stage that you create, you could be forgiven for not believing that they were real sex workers. Does that sound like a horrible insult? But
absolutely not. All my work is very staged.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
And I take a lot of stories and recreate it with feral children. I mean, a lot of these children don't exist. The stories exist, and we don't know if all the stories are true either. And I recreate the stories with children actors. So yeah, totally. What you're saying is absolutely. You could believe that they're not real women. Yeah.
So
and
hearing
actually,
their stories, their interviews with them, is a way of telling their stories of it not just being a theatrical pursuit. These are real people with real stories, with real things that they're selling.
Yeah, and what I realized was that their lives are as if they're actually always in a performance. They're always on stage in one way or another. And that's why I created these sets according to their professions and their past. And I also wanted to show that I shot in a studio, so I'm showing the studio walls around it.
Yes. Continuing the theatrical analogy in that case.
Yeah.
How do you go about casting when you're putting together a body of work like this? And where do you begin? There are no casting agents as there are in the theatre and film for sex workers, or are there? I don't know.
Well, I did have 2 casting directors working on this project. Yeah.
Okay.
One of them, I think she happens to go and visit sex clubs and hang out there. So she did a street casting for me. And the other one is more a model acting agency, and she happened to know different women in that profession. So I happened to approach the right women to source the right girls for me.
Well done. You have a new book.
I have a new book. It's on the ACT, the project, the ACT Sex Workers. And it's a limited edition, only 300 copies. And yeah, I wanted to put it in a book form. Someone contacted me and just said, do you want to get a book published? I didn't even think I would. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. So I've been working on that for the last 8 months, and it just got released 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We were chatting just before the cameras started rolling about social media, and I said, hey, you on Twitter, you on Instagram, and not so much Twitter, but you're embracing Instagram. How are you finding it as a platform? Because most of the work that goes up on Instagram is, hey, selfie, or hey, put a filter on it and stuff. I don't know what you use Instagram for, but how are you finding it as a creative tool, as a professional tool, or as a social tool?
I use it a lot for my work. For example, when I got the book released, I mentioned it on Facebook and on Instagram, and automatically sold 30 copies in a day.
Wow.
So it's a great way of working. I think as long as you don't become too obsessed by it, watching other people on Instagram and then forever checking your phone the whole time and how many followers have you got now. I think if you use it carefully and it doesn't overtake your life, I think it's great. It works for me, but I don't think it should become too over the top, which I've seen with other photographers.
It's an easy trap to fall into, not just for photographers, but the social media generation anyway.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been terrific having you in the studio here. Good luck with your talk on the Superstage. Julie Fullerton-Batten.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.